Unemployment statistics are alarming, but don't worry, help is on the way. Today on the show, we have Dr. Tracy Wilen-daugenti, is the Vice President and Managing Director of Apollo Research Institute. We had her before on the show, and you gave us wonderful tips. This time, no different. You're going to give us tips on what to do if you have been unemployed for more than 6 months, and what not to do if you've just been recently laid off, correct?
That's correct.
Hello and welcome to Kababayan, LA.
Thank you.
All right, let's just get the ball rolling right away. Refresh your resume. If you've been unemployed for over 6 months.
6 months. That's right. A lot of people, including myself, have a resume that probably dates us back before we even want to talk about it. It's changed. It really has changed. It's well worth your time to have a professional look at it, have a hiring manager, recruiter, and I'll tell you why. They use applicant software tracking systems now that specifically look for search words and keywords in resumes. It's an automated system now. So it isn't that individual. I mean, there's always an individual, but technology has come into play. So a buzzword is not as effective as a key skill that might be in the job opening.
Cover letter, critical?
Very critical. It's really, remember, the resume and the cover letter gets you the appointment. The appointment gets you an interview. The interview is your first step to hoping getting a job.
What should be in the cover letter?
You need to state who you are. Think of an elevator pitch.
Okay.
If you met someone in an elevator in 90 seconds or less, can you sum up who you are?
Short and sweet and make it interesting.
And have it targeted for the job that you're pursuing.
And resume should only be 1 page.
1 to 2 pages, depending on how long you've been working for. I've been working for a long time, so I would be a 2-pager.
Right. Okay. What about informational meetings? You need to set up meetings with people you know in the industries?
You do. You know, there's so many jobs out there today that you don't even know exist. Just this morning, I was on the phone with a physician's assistant, which is a position I never heard of. It's actually a master's degree level position that isn't a medical doctor, but isn't a nurse. And so you need to understand there's so many more jobs out there that you've probably never heard of.
And I've also heard that nowadays you don't just submit your resume, submit to everyone. You don't just cast
Spray and pray.
They say that now it's more targeted. You need to know people in the industry, and then they vouch for you, and then that gets you the job easier.
Absolutely.
Right.
Spray and pray. You send a resume to everybody and pray something sticks. It doesn't work anymore.
It doesn't work anymore, right?
No. A tool called LinkedIn is very effective. It's where a lot of recruiters go and specifically look for targeted resumes. It's like an electronic Rolodex.
And speaking of targeted, consider targeted temp jobs. Temp jobs, okay, some people don't like it.
Oh, well, actually, temp jobs is an effective way for you to go out and test firms, pick up skills and experience. And a lot of times, if they're not hiring, they are hiring freelancers and temps. So you can package that as a bundle of consulting experience.
All right. What about going to school to enhance your skills? You also need that.
Absolutely. As a hiring manager, I want to know, if you're out of work, what were you doing while you were out of work? I know you're looking for a job.
Okay.
Did you go out and learn how to code? Software coding, programming. Did you learn a skill? Did you learn how to set up a website?
Right.
Pick up a skill or volunteer or do something while your time is off. And going back to school is one.
And enriching your resume. Earlier you talked about this network, LinkedIn, because it's important. Now we go on to the 5 things now you do not do when you're just laid off. Don't start a business. Some people say
everybody, well, okay, so let's talk about that. Everybody says, let's start a business because I don't want to work for a corporation anymore. What they don't think about is the finances, how to run that business, what's involved with it. I tell you what I would suggest that you do. Offer 30 days of free employment to a business owner in exchange to learn what it's like. I've had friends do that, particularly in the restaurant industry.
Right.
Everybody wants to own a restaurant.
Yes, they think it's easy. Retail also, clothing store.
That's right.
Yeah.
And hiring managers say, just go out and walk the talk for 30 days, volunteer it, then decide, are you in it? Look at your finances. Really think about, interview shop owners of any kind of business so you really understand it.
That's a good idea. Volunteer for 30 days at a business where you want, which you want to start, and then you get the experience.
I just saw a website where you can actually do a vacation.
Oh, wow. Vacation. Maybe next time we can talk about that. Moving on now, do not dramatically switch careers. Some people think, oh, maybe, you know, it's God's plan, this is not for me, then move on to something else, something different.
Exactly. It's a knee-jerk reaction if you've just gotten laid off. You say, I don't want to be in manufacturing anymore. I want to be in marketing. Well, you know what? Companies want to hire you for what you know. So go back, if you want to get hired right away, go right back into your existing position and then do the laterals inside the firm. It's always easier inside a firm to move around into different positions.
And I find this interesting. You should not note on your resume that you've been laid off or there's a dead time. Why is that?
Well, it's what you should say is, here's what I've been doing. Volunteer in a hospital. Healthcare is a high demand future career. Why don't you go down and volunteer in the hospital? Make it really work for you that your time off is active and you're doing something.
So you can't note in your resume, you know, you got hired to do this at a certain time and then a certain time and then it's been 2 months and you're not doing anything.
Well, it's like here's every time should be filled in with something. I was taking classes, I was publishing something, I was volunteering here, I was developing this skill.
Thank you so much. Very helpful tips. That's the website on the screen if you want to get more information. You're here 10 days, in LA 10 days,
That's
in a
right.
month, and hopefully next time we can have you back again with your useful tips for us and for our viewers.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, and more power to you. Entertainment news when we return. Don't go away.